So in this video we're talking about all of the shifts that Gaia is providing all of us humans. There is an ancient language, and that's the language of the body. And that language has been seen, misunderstood, twisted with, manipulated with. So there's been a lot of misunderstanding of what the energy of how everything fits together, let's say, with you, why you're here, how the energy moves, all of that. And this is the type of information that can change your life, really. Because that is what we are experiencing right now. So what we have done is that we have, in all of our life, and when we call that the dualistic perspective. Every time we speak, we usually say that dualistic perspective. And this is our old life. And we're just itching a little bit. This is our old life. And this is when we were pleasing and sort of following what other people wanted of us. Very typical people pleaser. But there was a lot of different energy. There wasn't only that, like sometimes it would fling. And this is the thing. If you are people pleaser and you're not really a lot of people pleaser, but then you're doing it a little bit, and then you maybe fling to the other side, and then you go, no fucking way, then maybe you go into attack. And these are these dualities that people just play out, and this is what we're playing out in, just to simplify it. It's not always that simple. But this is basically one being, us in this case, as an example, from before, that was operating one way over here and then another way here. And all of that is that this first way was actually incorrect maneuvering of the body, truly. Because whenever you are making actions that are going against what the body feels like, you are going against the very nature of your essence. And so this is really important because it has to do with how all of us have been raised. This is deeper than what many people think. Because a lot of grown-ups, they're still haven't gotten it, so they're still in duality. And what that does when people are in duality, we've just been out with a dog. We are exploring the consciousness of the extension of what a dog consciousness does with a human, and it's a whole dance. We are maturing because of all of the shifts that we have done, because we have clarified the mind, and so we are working on shifting our consciousness every single day to maintain this balance. And these are these balance of not that, but in the middle, so that you don't do the thing that makes you lose your power in the first place, type of thing, And it's all these pretend things, pretending that you're this and that, or, it's just, it is a retraining in just being really, really authentic. And really truly getting to know who you are. We didn't know who the heck we were, because we were pleasing everyone else outside. Like, how do you know how to operate when you're operating incorrectly? And this is the thing, though. It's like everyone just thinks it's normal. And or they act as if. We don't believe that people are in there like taking advantage of us. It's not like that. But if someone gives to you and they're used to people giving to them, if you stop giving, they're gonna be pissed. Just like you take a candy from a baby. You know, it's just natural, because it's the way that the human body's energy system works through a being. We have to know that we are all children here, learning how to be mature spiritual conduits for higher intelligence. That's really what we're teaching ourselves, and how to function these bodies with higher intelligence coming through. And for that, there has to be certain criteria, food being one of them, behavior, how you maneuver your energy, knowing how energy even works. But it's much more than just healing the body. Healing the body is important, but you have to come to terms with how reality works. And how reality works is not something that you can heal in place. It's training. You have to learn how it is to, like, the reason why yogis did miraculous things is because they had a different consciousness. And that's what we're teaching you here. We're teaching you to have a different consciousness, to peel away all of the things that is hindering this energy, this pure energy, from coming through. That's really what it is. Most people are stuck in their head thinking. Even highly spiritual beings are stuck in their head thinking, and then they're acting based on the thinking, not fully being connected to the truth of their own body even. Because there are these ways that people maneuver their consciousness to make it okay, to dictate to the body what it's supposed to feel, so that you can say, yeah, I'm fine, you see? But it's such a behavioral thing, because you can talk yourself out of anything. The ego mind is very clever at coming up with stories. But there is only one thing that is true. That's your signal. Your signal through the body. Because you can receive a lot of downloads of like thought forms and stuff, and communicate with beings up there. But unless you bring it in and feel what is relevant in your life, does it really matter? That's what higher intelligence is interested in, is now. And that's why, if you're too up here, you're too thought-based, it is an imbalance, simply. The balance is to get more than, if you know that, okay, yeah, I can see that I'm too intellectual. Right. Okay, so I need to inject what will balance that in my system. And that is more outside time, more feeling the body, more acute to what the body is sensing. We have graduated, we feel like, because we have been in hermit mode, sort of scared to talk to people for quite some time now. And that we feel like we're out of. We say graduated because we haven't received the dog, but we have the dog in our care sometimes. And I don't know for how long, but it has shown to be a very, very beautiful experience. We love this dog to bits, and that is the testament of our body is ready to look after something more with the light. And we can feel this dog so much. We can feel, and it's a testament to how present we are. We noticed today we were not so present. We were a little bit too much on the computer, right? That's also imbalance. Sometimes you can be sort of almost a little bit chronically intellectualized, that you're sort of identifying with it. But it's just, all you have to do is just identify and sort of let it go a little bit. Because then the next step is to practice the balance. Like, it's all about lessening what is producing the imbalance and then injecting more of what is producing the remedy. And the remedy can be many things, because sometimes doing this is a cover-up for things, right? Sometimes it's just behavioral. And the behavior is important, what you do every single day. But there's also what happened in the past and what actually is going on in the mind space. Because the mind space, usually there's a lot of just stories. And most beings are in there thinking that those stories are the reality, because they can see and feel also. But the stories create sort of, that's why your manifestations are not exact, let's say, because they're a little bit rooted in fantasy. But Gaia and higher intelligence make sure that they are matching you up with who you are energetically ready for. And we notice that we're ready to, we are outing. Like, this is the slow, steady outing. Like, every 28 days that we've been through now, there's been a slow outing. And even now, we notice that there are some remnants that we have to sort of like, it's sort of like these echoes of the past. And all of those echoes of the past, we just have to like, yeah, I see you, okay, recognize. Because once you recognize it, you can do something else. But if you're caught in it, in the habit, without thinking, then you're just caught in it. There is a process to this. And it takes a little bit time in the beginning to get used to even the idea that you can do something about this. We failed so many times in the beginning. Because what the guides are providing are channeling every single day. And those are deep insights to correct certain certain incorrections of our consciousness, or consciousness of something, that some experience that we're seeing or experiencing in the moment. Whatever is alive, basically. And so once all of those channelings happen, they, at least for our consciousness, because they're coming directly to our consciousness, and so our consciousness opens so much to it and believes in that what's coming through so much, because it releases it eases sort of the feelings of constriction from the body. And that is us easing into the truth and allowing the truth to be true for us. It's basically coming to terms with reality. That is what a lot of the shifts that's needed in a human body is, really that. To adjust to the truth of how things work and how you actually do this. Because one thing is the channeling. The other part is the what are you doing daily? Because the channeling is a support so that you can go closer into harmony with who you are. And the Haya sessions are more feeler based. It's more us assisting with the container, and we are guiding the entire group so that we are all opening up to higher intelligence together. And then whatever happens with each individual, that will be up to that individual soul, Gaia, and what is what is in most alignment and what the being is ready to happen. Because there needs to be a comprehension before they can be healing or transition from the body. And so that's why we're working on the mind and the correction of the human consciousness, and we're working on the body to anchor in those corrections into the body. That's what we're doing. And so that is and once that's done, that it has landed into the body, then there is a different energy at play. That means different things will happen in the external because you have worked on your own energy. That is always the case. These are factual things about this environment. And so once you get how things work, you can start to work with it. It is this system is very dependable. It's not random. Things that are happening is not random. It is very dependable, but you have to know what the rules of the game is. Like, who are you? How are we maneuvering this? And all of that, because the thing is, we are all one, and you are a soul. All of these are just thoughts until they are an experience. And what we are here to do is to give you an experience. And so we have a few things available. You can start with a Gaia Live. Highly recommend that. That's a very easy entry point. We do a lot of breath work, a lot of toning, and a lot of channeling to assist with the correction of the mind, depending on what we are targeting to correct. And that is when you can come with your suggestions. If you have particular things that you would like to work on, by the way, there's a link below that you can get to the WhatsApp group. If you're in the WhatsApp group, you get to know more directly all of these, so that it's a little bit more the lazy way of receiving, so that you have it very easy with this technology. So we're very grateful for that. And the second step, if you are a little bit familiar with spirituality already, we highly recommend that you start or continue with a 28-day consciousness shift. And that is also something that you can get for free in the link below or in the bio. And so that is offerings that we have for you to assist you on your journey back into alignment with who you truly are. These are not to be taken lightly, because they will produce effects in your body. The question is, are you ready for them? That's really the only thing. And so if you are, comment below, and thank you so much for being here. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.